Yeah. Samsung Allura. Mom. Sky. Eight. That's weekends. Scott. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, you can.
Yes,
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
we're good.
Good.
Some of you, your
Good.
names are showing as Zoom user. Couldn't see some of them. Some names are showing as Zoom user. Like somebody say EJ iPhone. Who's EJ iPhone?
Hi there.
Question.
Say, who's EJ iPhone? Who has that name? Uh, trying to take down this attendance. Some of your names are not showing well. Maria's iPhone. Who's Maria iPhone? And who is Zoom user guest? There are two of them, as a matter of fact. Oh, Da Costa. Okay, Da Costa. Okay. All right. Guys, as you guys know, what is going on with the weather, so that's why we're having a remote class today. Um, I'm happy all of you are safe. To our class in our class today will be. I want to take you to the class to the yeah, course shell, so you can look at is what we are supposed to cover this week. Now, for your classwork 1B, I believe it is. Some of you submitted, but they didn't put the name. Not all of you. So if you just, I think it's one person that submitted, but they didn't write the names of the members in that group. So maybe they'll explain to me in the class so that I can take note of that. Also, there's a group that I updated. They submitted as, I think, Group E. I'm talking about uh, um, Tolliver Benjamin and Robinson Jason and Judon Alenga. So I changed their group to Group H. I'll explain more when we meet in the class. So this week we're now in week 2. And how many? I hope you have registered in Access Pearson with the access code by now. So
Excuse me.
yes, ma'am.
I've been trying to email you about that because it's not letting me.
Okay, maybe when we see in the class, I'll look at it again.
I don't have the
Okay.
access code
That's
either.
why I haven't put any homework
Excuse
on that.
me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the same thing for my book. I've been emailing you about not being able to access it, and I called today, and they said I still had to go through. I had to come back to you in order to access it.
Yeah, maybe we'll try it in the class.
That
And
is the same thing for me too.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't have the access code either.
Yeah, same.
When you went there, you didn't see the when you click on when you click here. Can you see my hand here? When you click here, and then it will bring something like this. Um, it's coming up. Yeah, you didn't see this when you click on that.
Yeah, I see
Oh,
that,
we
but then
don't
it
we
I
don't
get
says
an
see that.
please.
error message when you put
Yeah.
that code in.
Oh, in that case, we'll try it in the class. The good news is that we have computers in the class. We can try it. Anyway, in that case,
So
that's what
it says that you have to link the course to the piercing thing.
I did it already. That's why it's showing now. Before it wasn't showing
It's
like this.
doing that for me. I wasn't able to do the homework because I don't have
Uh,
access either.
no, I haven't put the homework there yet because
The classwork actually.
no, classwork is different. Classwork you do it in the classroom. Um, it's only homework that is homework and test that should be done here. So that's why
Oh, okay.
I haven't put any homework there yet. I want to make sure that everybody's in before I put the homework there.
Oh,
Okay.
so 1A and 1B are all classwork, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I missed last week. I couldn't get to class. I sent you an email, so I
Yeah.
didn't get that done.
When we get to class next week, you can show me the email and I can put you in a group because this
Oh,
class
okay.
operate in a
I
group. Uh,
I sent the email as well, and I had a doctor's note, but I didn't get an email back too.
yeah, let me know on when we meet so I can put you guys in a group.
Excuse
Okay.
me, I also had
Okay.
last
Me
class
too.
about an email.
Yeah. Let us reserve all your questions when we meet in class. Okay, you can now we can at the beginning of the semester like this, it is always we have issues like that. So
But are we gonna have extensions or something for these classworks?
say it again.
Are we still able to submit the classwork since we missed class? Are we still able to do it and submit it?
No,
What's the
not
payment?
now until not now. Let us meet in the class first, so I can put you in a group.
Okay.
Is
So
yeah,
what about this classwork? Classwork that's due tonight. What about that one?
the one that there's no classwork due tonight.
There is. It says this one classwork 1A. It says that's due tonight.
Yeah, there is something in Canvas that's due tonight.
Yeah, but see,
It's a 1A.
I think let me open it. Let me show you.
It says computing productivity. It says it's due tonight.
Okay, hold on, let me go there. I think.
Yeah. I wasn't here last class, so I don't know how to do the 1A assignment.
Hmm. So let me see. Let me no, look at. I think I know what you are talking about. You're talking about this one right here, right?
Yeah, that one. That's due tonight.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's this one. This one we covered it last week. So if you're not here last week, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay,
Okay.
we take care of that. Those are here last week can do it because they already know their group.
Okay.
So if you're not here last
Oh,
week, don't do it. That means all of you who wasn't here last week, I can put you guys in one group so that I can work as a group.
Okay. You did
Okay.
1B last class as well?
Huh?
You did classwork 1B and last class as well?
If so long as you have that letter email that you say that you sent to me that you miss a class,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll give you the opportunity to I put you in the group first,
Okay. Okay.
then give you the opportunity to do the class. I'll give you something else to do, not the same thing we did last time. Something that yeah, I'm gonna give you something else to do, but you will have the opportunity to do it. Okay?
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question. Some of us weren't enrolled in the class Wednesday when we had class, since that was the first day of classes. Will we be allowed to have an extension as well if we weren't actually enrolled?
Let me
Like,
understand your question. You said you didn't you just enrolled in the class?
yeah, I switched this class from another class to this class, but it was during late registration, so I wasn't actually enrolled in your class when you assigned the first
What's your name? Because I saw some new name. What is your name?
Kennedy Riggins.
Last name is Riggins.
Yeah, I was
R-I-G-G, right?
Yeah, Riggins. And I just want to know,
And
will we
your
be
first name is
processing
what
review?
again? Yeah,
What'd you
what's
say?
your first name?
Kennedy, Kennedi.
Kennedy. Yeah, that means I have to put you with them, Kennedy, in
Okay.
that group. So don't do
Okay.
anything. Don't do anything yet Only
Okay.
those who were here last week can complete this assignment because they were in the classroom. So for those of you who missed the class and have proof that they emailed me, and for you who just registered, yeah, don't do anything. Just come to class on next week. Okay?
Excuse me.
Okay.
Mm.
I also registered Thursday, so I wasn't able to attend the Wednesday class as well.
You registered on Thursday?
Yeah, I enrolled in the class on Thursday, so I wasn't able to go to the first class.
So what's your name?
Justin Page,
Justin, what was the last name?
Page,
Page. Okay.
Paige.
Page. So you heard what I told her, right? The same thing applies to you. Okay?
Okay,
Mm.
thank you.
All right, let's start. Reserve some of your questions too.
Wait, did you say we don't do the homework tonight?
No, I did not say that. I said if you were not here last week, if you missed class last week and you send me email that you missed class, or if you just registered for this class, don't do anything. But if you are here last week, then you have to complete this classwork.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All right. So this is what we have this week. We like I explained the class, I'll be posting this announcement every week. Week 2 activities and assignments. Read chapter 2. If you don't have access, I know but from what you guys told me already, most of you don't have access to my Pearson yet. So just read the PowerPoint that I uploaded for today's class. I will show you where it is located in a minute. I just want to make sure you're seeing the screen. So then classwork 2, complete classwork 2. Remember, this is only for those who were here last week. If you're not here last week, but you have evidence that you emailed me that you missed the class, or if you just registered, don't do anything yet. Okay. Now, this is where you see the material to read. Is the model. If you click on the models, you go to model 2. You can see it right here. That's the presentation. So since you have not had the textbook yet, if you read it, it's as good as reading the textbook. Because my presentations, I like to make them to be like like a notebook. I won't call it flashcards, but just not like notebooks, study notes like that. So today it's about talk today, and we're focusing on operation strategy. Now, when we say operation strategy, what we are referring to is the businesses. If you have a business and naturally you want to succeed, you have to make money, make profit, and keep growing. That means you have to plan a way of doing it. So that is strategy, operation strategy. So when we come to supply chain management, the operation strategy simply means or involve the decision that a business make with respect to product design, manufacturing processes, inventory management, supply chain partnership, and technology adoption. So it simply means a long-term plan that a company has that will help it to use its resources efficiently to meet customer demands. And of course, when you meet the demand of the customers, you make them happy, and they will bring more businesses. So to meet customer demand, improve productivity, and also ensure the successful execution of their overall business goals or strategy. So a good example of where that can be applied to is when it comes to supply chain. Last week, I explained what supply chain is. Just as a reminder, when we say supply chain, we mean all the activities, all the organizations, all the people, all the resources, and all the information that are involved in the production, transformation, and delivery of goods or services from the supplier to the customer. So the concept had been around for a long time, and globalization actually made it even more popular, because globalization spurred the expansion of supply chain across different continents. And by doing that, it brought about a complex network that span multiple industries and geographies. Look at a company like Apple Incorporated. If you have a smartphone or Apple smartphone, you are holding like how many how many countries in your hand? Because all the different components were manufactured in different area called countries, and then it is finally assembled in a country like China, where there's cheap labor, and then brought into the United States and and to Europe and other countries. So the Apple have a very tight control over every aspect of its supply chain. And because of that, Apple is able to maintain a high product quality and also to minimize cost. Yeah, when you have a business, you are focused. If you really want that business to grow, one of the things you do is to cut down your expense account to the barest minimum. Otherwise, you'll be making sales, but you'll be surprised why your business is going down, even though you're making a lot of sales. So businesses try to cut down costs. So if that involves going across the border to do the manufacturing or assembly, they will do it. Even though in as much as our current president, President Trump, is using tariffs to bring some big companies back to the US, but that will increase their cost of production. And as a matter of fact, those tariffs actually are paid by us, because let's say that you are making a widget that you import, you assemble it in China or in maybe Vietnam, because of cheap labor and low regulations. So because of that, it costs you $1 to make it and bring it into US. Then if they put tariff on it, and that means you say it costs you $1 and you brought it here and pay tariff of $5, that means $6. You're not going to sell it $2. You're going to sell it $8 at least to make money. So we are the people who pay that tariff, not those companies, because what they do is to shift the cost to the customers by increasing the price. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here that Apple is able to control their supply chain and make a lot of profits. Other many companies that are doing very well in US have very uh, interconnected countries where they get their inputs and even part of the labor. Now, so part of the operation strategy is the management of supply chain. Now, and that brings us to supply chain management, which simply means managing the flow of goods and services, including all the processes that transfer raw material into final products. Now, remember when it says production, we're not only talking about making goods. Services are also part of production. So the services given by a doctor or the services given by teachers are all production. As a matter of fact, there was a time Baltimore City had so much problem with the shortage of teachers that they have to go to Philippines to hire teachers and bring them back to Baltimore City. So that will tell you one of the reasons. How far an organization can go to get what they want, especially if they can get it cheaper in some place else. So supply chain management consists of 5 basic components. One is plan, source, make, deliver, and return. Look at Amazon. Amazon has one of the most advanced and efficient system. Their supply chain management is one of the most advanced and efficient in the world. That's why they're able to have something like Amazon Prime that can deliver your order within 2 days. So they are able to figure it out, manage their supply chain properly. And if they couldn't do that, if they don't get a full hand on their supply chain, they wouldn't be able to run that Amazon Prime program effectively. Now, managing supply chain, managing operation strategy also may involve having a global strategy, which means a company's approach to operating across different countries. If your business is growing, you don't want to limit yourself to US market. There are even other markets across the globe. US is just really a part of it. So, which means that you have to uh, prepare a way that you operate in the global arena, and that means global strategy. So, having a global strategy involves sourcing raw materials, manufacturing, and distributing product across borders using network of suppliers, producers, and logistics providers from different countries. All these automobile manufacturers like General Motors, Ford, Nissan, they all have complicated or have a network of supply chain because they can't produce everything they use to make car. So then they have to get from other places where they are affordable. Otherwise, if you want to produce everything, that means the cost of making the car alone will be so high that to be able to sell it and make profit, they will say that the price they will sell it will be so high that people cannot afford it. Again, that brings us back to what we call, managing supply, managing costs, and managing supply chain, and having a global strategy. Many the issue of trying to use tariff to make companies to come and invest in US. It is because of the fact that let me use the automobile industry as an example. The competition they are facing from Japan, foreign cars like Japanese cars, even automobile from China too. If you look at electric vehicle, China is almost trying to dominate the whole of the market, producing at a very cheap. In fact, you can buy electric vehicle. I think you can get them at even $30,000. Electric vehicle that are Chinese ones, and they used to flood the market in Europe, especially companies in Europe and even in the United States. It's hard for them to compete because of that. The current administration is using a tariff to make equalize the ground for them. But one thing about tariff, another thing about apart from the fact that it is the citizen that pays it, another thing about tariff is it protects companies that are not efficient. It shares them. So if you are protecting something that company that is not efficient, they won't have the incentive to improve because they are protected. So in the long run, they will without their improving their operations, they may even go out of business. Anyway, let's go back to what we're doing. If you look at Boeing, it makes planes, the aeroplanes. They are very popular, and many airlines that use Boeing plane. Even though that recently they started having issues. This past 3 4 4 years, Boeing has faced significant operational challenges, especially with their Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. And the problem is more of quality control issues and also delayed deliveries and software malfunction. There's many of them that actually occur like that. I think I can play a clip of this so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can play this clip. So you can see, maybe have an idea of what kind of problem Boeing is having. Let me see. Let me make sure that you can hear the sound. Okay. Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Yeah.
On the morning of October 29th, I was woken up by a colleague who alerted me that a Lion aircraft crashed. He said it's the MAX, and I was surprised because it was a new aircraft. My company provided the air data for aircraft flying around the Jakarta area. So I went to the computer and looked at the data. It was immediately apparent that, okay, something was wrong. The plane went up to about 2,000 feet, just over a minute after takeoff. And the plane had a bit of a dive. And then the plane climbed to about 5,000 feet. But then at 5,000 feet, the plane was fluctuating up and down. And then the plane just started diving. It just didn't make sense. You don't see planes diving on departure. I was baffled. Why did it go down?
Lion Air Flight JC610 went missing from radar.
189 people were killed in the crash of Lion Air Flight 610.
The Boeing 737 MAX 8.
The plane was a new Boeing 737 MAX.
What do we know about this 737 MAX 8?
The fastest-selling jet in Boeing history, just introduced the year before.
We don't yet know what caused this crash.
A breakthrough this evening in the flight data recorder. It holds many of the keys.
The data from the black box quickly got to FAA engineers in the United States.
There is a purity of this data. It comes directly from the black boxes. So it's recording airspeed, altitude.
The data showed what appeared to be a glitch, something repeatedly moving part of the plane's tail, controlling its pitch.
It didn't take long, just a couple of minutes, to see that there was rapid movement of the horizontal stabilizer. It's probably the fastest way to kill yourself in an airplane is to have the stabilizer malfunction.
My spine literally tingled when I saw the traces from the black box. The plane continually tried to push the nose down, and the pilots were trying over and over again to stop the plane. And in the end, they lose that battle.
What Boeing had not told airlines or their pilots was that it had put a powerful software system on the new airplane.
In the Lion Air crash, this system was receiving incorrect information, and that made the plane dive straight downward and destroy itself.
Inside Boeing, they quickly diagnosed the problem and began working on a fix. But they stood by the MAX as hundreds of them took to the air around the world, carrying thousands of passengers. The company alerted pilots about handling a potential malfunction.
Boeing and the FAA today warned airlines that sensors on 737 MAX 8 jets can malfunction.
Boeing are calling this a formal advisory, and it's been issued to the pilots.
The reporting showed Boeing knew that it was risky, but their response was to blame the pilots.
Pilots did not hit two cutoffs.
Anyway, I just wanted to show you briefly. You can watch it complete the complete clip later on. I have it on the presentation for you. But what I'm trying to show you that sometimes when if the operation strategy or a global strategy or if there is any in fact, let me put it this way. The strategy you are following might affect what you produce. Boeing was focusing so much on cost cutting and some other things, and because of that, they were not able to. They were able. This new plane, 737 Max, because of the fact that they focused more on cost reduction. They do a good job of having a software that does not that is free from malfunction. Because this wasn't only this plane, there are other planes that crashed, this same type of plane, and that triggered an investigation from the FAA to figure out what they're doing. This thing happened over 3 years consistently. I would say consecutively. Then, but now Boeing have actually learned their lesson. They are coming back. Cost cutting is good, but don't cost at the in a way that it will endanger lives. Um, and so, but there's another company, the Benetton Group. This is a fashion company known for its fast-moving inventory. And so by integrating flexibility into their design, production, and distribution processes, this company is able to make products to and move them to stores around the world faster than many competitors. Mm. So, and that is their global strategy. Flexibility in their design, production, and distribution processes. And it made them to attain a competitive advantage in the industry. Then, how about Sony? Sony used to be a very popular. Now, to this day, we have a lot of competition in the electronics industry. But Sony was doing a good job for years. I think I remember when the time when they have this year, Sony Walkman, before the other Apple came out. In fact, when Apple came out, Apple actually knocked so many of them out of, overtook them in terms of cornering the market. But Sony Corporation, they now currently they purchase semiconductors from suppliers in different countries like Thailand, Malaysia, and part of Asia, and then they help them to balance cost efficiently and with access to cutting edge technology. Um, Sony, even up to today, Sony is still a very although he's no longer as popular as he used to be, but during its time, it was the king of electronic industry that time. Then we have the this brings us to globalization, and I'm sure you must have heard of this term before, where countries trying to go across the border. Companies trying to go across the border because there's a lot of market across the border. Let's see. Let me show you something that might give you an idea of what the market look outside US. I hope I can be able to access it today. Population clock. I think is that what it's called? World population clock. Let me see. Population clock. Yeah, clock or count. I think is that what it's called. Worldometer. Okay. You can see I think you can see the screen, I believe. Now you can see the population of the world. I think this is something else is coming up. Let me see if I can pull it out from here. Okay, countries and the populations. Let me see, they have too much advertisement on this site, so I'm going to leave this site. It goes to population clock. Okay, good. Now, world population. Now you can see the United States is 342 million people live in US. Brazil is 1.4 billion. India is about 1.4 billion as well. Sorry, China is 1.4 billion, not Brazil. China is 1.4 billion. India is 1.4 billion people. Pakistan is 262 million. So that will tell you, like my country here, Nigeria, where I come from, is 250 million. Then Brazil, 220. So you see that the US market is only 342 million approximately. So there's a lot of markets outside the US. Yeah. So, and that is one of the reasons why companies want to go global. Let's see. I think I lost I think I want to share it again. Let's go back to where we are. So making the globalization a popular time. So companies often globalized for 6 primary reasons. And those reasons are tied to improving efficiency, lowering costs, enhancing product quality, and attracting talent. I summarized it here as the reasons for going global. Improve the supply chain, reduce cost and exchange rate risk, improve operations, understand markets, improve products, and attract and retain global talents. Let's look at them one by one. Let's look at improve the supply chain, for example. With globalization, companies can build a more robust and diversified supply chain. They do this by sourcing raw materials, components, and finished products from different parts of the world. So by doing this, they're able to reduce their reliance on any country or region. So if a country have, let's say that Apple has their footprint in China, Cambodia, Brazil, and Argentina. Now, and even Venezuela. Now that if the economy of Venezuela, if Venezuela is, if any of these countries is facing a political crisis, they can still get their supply from the remaining 4 countries. See, so that their production, their business continue to their business move on, even though one of the countries where they have footprint is having either political crisis or economic crisis. They can still move on. So we're doing this help them to reduce reliance on any region. So that made the supply chain more resilient, and it cannot be disrupted. For example, a company like Nike sources its materials and manufactures its product in over 40 countries. So this kind of network helps Nike to maintain flexibility in production, and also it helps the company to ensure that they can meet customer demands, even when specific regions face challenges. Now, another thing is to reduce costs and exchange rate risk. Yes. Now, labor cost in US, everybody knows that is higher than other countries because US labor law is more. I mean, it's not that it's wrong, but it's just that it makes labor, because now in US there is minimum wage you pay. That's number one. There is you have to working conditions. Then there is this what they call workers comp like health insurance. So all those things add to the cost of labor in US.
Professor?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Professor. That's off topic, but I have a question about what group I'm in. I think you changed me, Benjamin Tolliver, Diadun, and Jason, our group, to Group H, right? Or are we still Group C?
Yeah.
So we're Group H?
Yes, now. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
So with globalization, so all this add to the cost of labor in US. There's workers' comp, there is minimum wage, then there is working condition, environment. You have to maintain the standard that the government require. So many other things. All this add to the cost of labor in US. Not that they're bad, it's just that they increase the labor cost. And that is one of the reasons why many companies, in other countries, they might have those things in paper, but they don't enforce it. Yeah. So it becomes easy for or cheaper for many companies to move production to foreign companies. So if those, like if smartphone, for example, if all the processes of making it are done in US, I don't only very few people can afford to buy a smartphone because of the cost of labor. So that's why they move offshore. Now, those countries, there are some things that some countries find cheaper in US, and they can come to US and get it too as well. So that is the essence of international trade. And as a matter of fact, you make what product that is cheapest for you to make, and other countries make what is cheapest for them. Then you guys can trade. So in other words, some companies go across the border to take advantage of countries with lower cost of living and or favorable exchange rates. Not only that, it helped them to diversify their exposure to currency fluctuations by engaging in multiple markets. If you look at General Motors, for example, they have a production facility in several low-cost countries, including Mexico and China. And by doing that, they can reduce their manufacturing costs. Not only that, General Motors also diversifies currency exposure across multiple regions. And that helped them to reduce the impact of exchange rate fluctuations. Another reason is to improve operations. With globalization, it becomes possible to improve the operational efficiency of a company because by allowing them to adopt the best practices from different parts of the world. So when a company is exposed to different regulatory standards, operational techniques, and technological advancements, it can help them to improve or innovate more than when they are not exposed to such things. And a good example is McDonald's, which is in different countries. McDonald's, as we know it, have operations in the global market. And they have, for years, they have adapted to local tastes and cultures. And also, they try to maintain their standard as by doing that. This one have really helped them to have a competitive edge in the industry. Another reason companies go global is to understand the market. Think of some company like Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola, their global presence help them to adapt their product to local tastes. For example, in places like India, Coca-Cola offer what is called thumb up in India, and they also offer specific tea flavored drinks in Japan to cater to local preferences. Another company that does something similar is Starbucks. They have been in different countries, and including China and India, where they tap into, in China, the way coffee is more popular in US than tea. But in China and India, tea is more popular. So that's why Starbucks is also have taken advantage of that by tapping into the cultural preferences in these two countries for tea. And China and India have the largest population in the world, and that is a huge market there. So to improve their product is also one of the reasons companies go global. Because globalization provides access to diverse ideas, research, and resources. These are things that can help companies to improve quality and innovation of their products. A company like Unilever and Samsung are good examples. Samsung's research and development centers in America and Europe allow it to develop innovative products by leveraging diverse technological advancements and also of research expertise. Now, before I continue, does anybody have a question for me on what I've covered so far? Any question on what I've covered so far? Okay, no question. Good. Another reason for going global is to attract and retain global talents. Big companies like, technology companies like Microsoft and Alphabet are doing that a lot. If you go to those companies, they are where they have their facilities, you see that there's a lot of engineers there are from across the border. And as you know, these companies have really maintained competitive edge in their industry. So, but there are also cultural issues to want when it comes to going global. For example, let me put it this way: a company, especially a multinational company, need to understand the complexities of cultural and ethical issues. That is a way that will help them to compete with their peers in the global arena. So globalization have connected the world in many ways, but it also brings significant cultural and ethical challenges as to businesses as they navigate diverse social norms, international laws, and ethical standards. Let's look at look at it in a more elaborate form. What is considered acceptable in one country may be viewed as inappropriate in another country and might require companies. So companies have to be sensitive to these things in order to survive. For example, when you look at a country like Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country, so they have different rules for men and women. In fact, men and women stay in separate places. Now, Starbucks understand that. So in Saudi Arabia, Starbucks have to adjust their operations to respect the local culture in Saudi Arabia. For example, they initially implemented gender segregated sitting areas in their stores to align with the norms regarding gender separation in public spaces. So Saudi Arabia requires men and women to stay, even in a bus, men stay separate, women stay separate. That kind of thing, if you do it in the US, you'll be in trouble. It became discrimination on the basis of gender. But over there is the norm, is their law. So companies that want to succeed in those countries have to understand these rules and follow it. Otherwise, they'll not be in trouble, or they will not be, either they are kicked out of the country or they will lose markets to their competitor. So Starbucks, while operating in Saudi Arabia, they modified their store design and service protocols to cater to these cultural differences of separating men and women in public spaces. Now, Walmart is another company. It expanded to Germany in the 90s, but there's something that made Walmart to leave Germany. It did not succeed there. Why? Walmart have this unique, style of American style of customer service, whereby they have friendly people that greet you as you enter the store. That didn't work very well in Germany because Germans, they want their privacy. So, but Walmart, maybe they did not hire, business consultants on Germany to know actually what works and what doesn't work. So, but they went in there with their, customer service, those greeters, and Germans doesn't find it funny. So they started losing market, and eventually they left Germany in 2006. This brings us to what they call international laws, agreements, and code of conduct for ethical behaviors. What does this mean? It means that if you have a company to operate successfully in the global market, it requires your company to comply with a complex web of international laws, trade agreements, and ethical standards. So your company must navigate all these regulations, especially those that are related to labor practices, environmental standards, human rights, and corruption. Failure to do that can lead to what you call reputational damage, legal consequences, and financial penalties. Now, there are some countries like Middle East, it is giving gift is a way of doing business. You want to get a license, you want to get have a public official or influence in, what we call it lobbying in America, but that's a different thing. And American lobbying is totally different because over there it is you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Pure, So which if you do it on the America, it will become bribery and you can go to jail for that. But across the border in the Middle East, it's normal for executive to give gifts to bureaucrats so that they can get their favors from them. So you have to, companies that are trying to operate globally have to understand some of these things. Now, in America, there are another law that prevents American company operating in the international arena from getting involved with bribery. I mean, what you call bribery here, it's not what you call bribery in those Middle East. So this put American companies. They call it, I think the law is called Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. But that act put American company in a disadvantage because companies from Europe and Asia come and give those gifts and get more favors than American companies in Middle East. So that is a very I would say it's a topic for another class discussion. Now, if a company like Volkswagen came to US, I mean, it's been in US for a long time, but in 2015, it faced a global scandal when it was revealed that the company has installed software in millions of its vehicles to cheat on emission tests. So that Volkswagen was fried for that, and the damages was in millions because they had to pay a lot of fines before that practice, was stopped. It caused them, the company faced billions of dollars in fine and legal settlement in various countries, including America. Now, which also brings us to the concept of extraordinary mobility of capital, information, goods, and people. This is one of the byproduct of globalizations, and it is made possible by advances in technology, transportation, and communication. So these have helped businesses to expand globally, despite the challenges that are posed by cultural and ethical differences. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, that time, as a matter of fact, because many countries locked down, so it affected the global supply chain. There's a lot of disruptions. I mean, as you know, many businesses closed down during that time. So those that adopted quickly, I mean, that succeeded, are only those companies that have improved their supply chain so much that they have extraordinary mobility they are able to maintain an extraordinary mobility of goods and capital, across the globe. Companies like Amazon and Alibaba, they continue to operate even during the pandemic because their supply chain is so vast. So they adapted quickly by leveraging technology and logistics network. And this underscored the importance of mobility in the globalized world. Now, remote work also became popular during the pandemic. And so many techs, it favors a lot of a lot of tech giants like Facebook and Microsoft, who allow their employees to work remotely from different countries. But there's some companies that, no matter how much they try, having a remote work it will be, it may not even be feasible in some companies, like when it comes to construction companies, those that build roads and remote work is not possible in those kind of companies. Yet, at the same time, if they're able to streamline their supply chain so that they can still get supplies to do the work job, they will survive and outcompete their rivals. So, now at this point, we're going to take a look at what is called mission and strategy, developing mission and strategies. For companies or organizations in general, the mission means the organization core values, goals, and commitments. In fact, it is the purpose or reason for the existence of that organization. For example, Tesla has a mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. When they say sustainable energy, you mean green energy. So with that mission in their mind, the company is developing electric vehicles, and also they are investing a lot in renewable energy technology like solar power and battery storage. So because of that vision, so the mission can be, summarized, put in just like Tesla did, in form of what is called a mission statement, which is a statement that reflects the values, goals, and the key market offering of that organization. Nike, for example, have the mission to, their mission statement says to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. With that mission in the mind, it becomes what they call like a guidepost to Nike's operational strategies, including when it comes, especially when it comes to their, the kind of product they developed, their marketing campaigns, and global supply chain management. So, another thing that we take a quick look at is strategy. Of course, the whole of this lecture is about operation strategy. Yeah. So, but in general, a strategy outlines how resources will be allocated and how competitive advantages will be developed, in addition to how organization will position itself in the market. If you look at a company like Toyota, they have their strategy is what is called lean manufacturing, which is a type of manufacturing, a manufacturing approach that try to, that focus mainly on eliminating waste, improving the process flow, and delivering a maximum value to customers using fewer materials. So the goal is also not only to improve efficiency and quality, but also to minimize cost. And in line with this, Toyota have the strategic approach of lean manufacturing, and it has allowed the company to maintain competitive advantage in the automobile industry through cost leadership and high quality production. Now, the strategic process involve two major concepts: organization mission and functional mission. The organization mission is mission that for the whole organization, it's a broad mission that defines the overall purpose of the organization. Like Walmart, for example. Walmart is focused on cost leadership. Their mission is to save people money so they can live better. And this drives their operation strategy of cost leadership, focusing on efficient supply chain and large-scale purchasing to make the price, affordable. Now, there's one that for the specific department. For example, the departmental vision. Remember that there are two of them: functional area mission. Sorry, organization mission. Then functional area mission. For most organizations, the key functional areas are marketing, operations, and finance. And each of them have a mission that, when added together, can now reflect the organization mission. For example, in a company like Nike, the marketing mission focuses on innovation and brand development, which align with their overall mission to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. When it comes to operations, the mission of the operation department or of the operation function usually is to efficiently produce goods or services that meet customer expectation, while at the same time optimizing resources. I have already given you a good example with Toyota. Their operation mission resulted in production, their lean manufacturing, which align with the mission of producing high quality vehicles efficiently. The next is the finance and accounting, their mission of their functions mission. The finance accounting function mission, which in general, and let me put it in that form, to make sure that the organization have, that the financial health of the organization is met, that the company have robust financial health by managing resources, controlling costs, and also providing accurate data, accurate financial information. And a good example of a company that does that very, very well is Johnson & Johnson. Their finance mission emphasizes sustainable growth and long-term value creation. And this also support their broader organizational mission of improving global health. So at this point, we are going to take a look or visit the strategies that companies use for competitive advantage. Before I do that, does anybody have a question on what we have covered so far?
Yeah, can we take like just a minute break so I could just catch up on the last like 2 slides, please? Because I was taking notes.
Oh, I have this in your in the model, so it's there for you, and we'll be finishing in a minute anyway. So
Uh,
let's say the next 10 minutes will be done, and you can now uh, review them. Okay.
yeah.
Mm. So, other than that, do you have any other question? Hello.
No question.
Yeah, just in case, I have it here for you. I have it. If you go to the models here, you go to models. So the note is already done for you. Matter of fact, you can see it right here. You can download it from here. Mm. Hope that helps.
Wait, where is it? Is the lecture 1 or lecture 2?
Lecture 2.
Okay.
So you just go to model 2 is there for you to download. Okay. Any other question before we continue? Okay. So let us round up by going through this strategy for competitive advantage. What companies do to gain a competitive advantage over their rivals. 3 things, as you can see from the screen. 3 things. The first one is differentiation. Second one is cost leadership. And the third one is response. Now let's start with differentiation. It just as the name implies, it means making your product or service to be unique and better than your competitor. So a good example that company that does that is Apple. Apple products, their product is known to be unique. They are known for their sleek design, user-friendly interface, and strong brand image. So even though they are more expensive, customers are willing to pay for the uniqueness and quality of their product. So differentiation, they're able to differentiate their product, make it unique and very high quality. So because of that, they still maintain when it comes to the smartphone market, Apple is still maintaining a strong leadership there. Another one is Starbucks. You know, we have a lot of coffee houses, coffee shops everywhere. But Starbucks differentiate itself from other coffee shops by offering a wide variety of coffee drinks. Not only that, a cozy atmosphere and also an excellent customer service. So even though we have thousands of other coffee stores, Starbucks is still maintain a leadership by differentiating themselves. The next thing is cost leadership. That's another strategy, whereby a company aims to be the lowest cost producer in the industry. Good example is Walmart. Walmart is known for their cost leadership strategy. And because of their goal, of course, the mission is to save people money so they can live better. As a result of that, they try to achieve this by maintaining a high efficient supply chain and purchasing in large quantities. So this helps Walmart to sell products at lower prices than most competitors. Now, at the international arena, we have like China. One of the reasons China was able to penetrate so many markets in the world is because of that cost. They produced at a cheap cost and they can bring it in to other countries. There's this website that they call Temu. Temu. I don't know if you guys know about Temu. How many of you here know about Temu? Hello?
I do.
Yes.
I've ordered from them before.
Okay, so you know what I'm
Sometimes.
so you know what I'm talking about then. They become popular
Yeah.
because they're selling stuff so cheap. My wife loved things so much. Almost like you know what? Why? Because they know that there's a lot of online sellers worldwide, even in US. But they, for some reason, that they're able to penetrate very fast because they want to maintain cost leadership in online market. So they're selling at very low price, and then they became popular overnight. So
Yeah, they
what?
also give you like additional gifts with every order.
Yeah, all they want to do is that is their strategy. That is the operation strategy, and it made them to become very popular. People buy a lot from them. So another method is I mentioned McDonald before. Another method is response. Be more responsive. This strategy is where a company focuses more on being more responsive to customers, what the customer needs. A good example of company that does that is Amazon. In addition to having a very efficient supply chain, Amazon is also one of the leaders in being responsive to customers. If you have the Prime service, uh, they offer fast shipping, sometimes delivering the product 1 or 2 days, and when we have problem with the product, I think you contact them via their website, and when I think something they sent to me was, I forgot what, I think they sent me the wrong thing. So I sent a message. They responded right away. Within an hour, I got a response. And they told me what to do. They have this, there's this company I think it's called Whole Foods, where they have a branch in downtown. They told me how I can take it there. And then now there's somebody that represents Amazon guy there that accepted the product from me. And then I got my refund. So that responsiveness can make a company. It can be a strategy, a competitive strategy. Yeah. How about this company, Zara? Zara is a popular clothing retailer. Also uses a response strategy. Um, Zara is known for their, I think they're in the fashion business, and they have this quick response. Their customer service is really good. I don't know, at least as of 2 years ago. I don't know about now, but 2 years ago they are really, really, really good when it comes to customer service. Zara. Now, to round up, I want you to read from this slide 41 when you have it, complete it. And then for those I know that the classwork for those that came last week is due tonight. So I want to end the class here so that you have time to finish the classwork. Those of you who were not here last week, remember, don't do anything. Until we meet in class, I'll give you something alternative, put you in a group and give you alternative work. So complete the rest starting from this slide all the way to the last slide. Okay. And I will see you next week, Wednesday. Any question before we leave?
Yeah, I wasn't in class last week.
Do you send me an email that you missed the class?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that one is a different case. In any case, when we see in the class, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, my last question. You said that you're going to assign people who weren't here last class are going to get put in groups next week when we come to class.
Yeah, you have to be in group. This class, the classwork, homework, and classwork is done as a group project, but only tests and exam that you do individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Classwork 1A, do you rather us do Excel or Google
Excel, yeah,
Docs?
of course. All assignments is Excel.
Okay, and in Excel, do you want us to show our formulas, write down the formulas?
Of course, that is the reason.
Gotcha.
All right.
Wait, I have one question too. So are you not assigning us groups, the people who weren't here last week?
Yeah, if you're not here last week, I want to see you in person in the class so I can give you a group and then give you what to do to make up for what you missed.
Okay.
I have a question. For the assignment due today, it's still due today, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. That's why I'm ending the class early so you can finish it up.
But you said it's only due for the people that are already in groups, but people who are not in groups, they don't have to do it yet.
People who were here last week.
Okay.
Is there an example of how to do the homework? Is there?
It's not the
I
homework, it's
know
the classwork.
for the classwork, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, so what about classwork
did,
two?
we did it in class last week. Let's see. Oh, okay. I didn't have anything on the classwork too.
Right, so you want us to wait to do that as well? People
That's
who
the one
weren't
that
here.
is due tonight.
No,
Actually,
I'm talking about
when
people
I
who
was
weren't
saying, I was actually referring to this one. I'm referring to this one. Computing productivity. When I was saying something due tonight, I'm referring to that one. So if you haven't done, see, yes, due to this, that's one of this classwork A. This is one that is due tonight. Classwork 2, not due yet. I have not had anything on it yet. So it's a classwork 1A that is due tonight. Okay. So I did an example in the class, how to compute productivity. That's why I say that it is for those who are here last night. Just go to if you go to the handout for last week, I can show you from here. I did examples of that. Follow it's right here. So if you download it, follow the example. In that example, I did like 4 examples in the classroom. There's productivity right here. It is. Yep, that's why it started from here. Yep, from here, question 1, all the way to the last question. So I did examples in the handout, in the presentation. So download it and follow the direction from there. I did a lot of calculations in the class last week. We did it together. So we follow it.
Professor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I do have a question. So I already submitted my work, but I submitted like a screenshot of it. But then I was like, let me upload this.
Screenshot will not give you a credit.
That's why in my comments I put the actual link of my Excel. Is that like acceptable?
Yeah, but did you put the names of your group on it?
For the homework, because it was for the homework.
It's not the homework, it's classwork. Did you put the name of your group on it?
On work 1A? No, I didn't. I can put it in the comments as well.
But you belong to a group though, right?
Yeah, I belong to a group.
See, I want the group to be working together on all these assignments.
Okay, no problem.
So,
but is that fine if I put the Excel link in the comments instead? Because it wouldn't let me resubmit it after I had uploaded it.
If you have, I would say you don't have the contact with your group, because if somebody else in your group can still submit it.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Somebody in your group can still submit it, and then you guys get the credit.
Okay.
That's why I say reach out to your group.
Okay.
So, Professor, the assignment that's due tonight, it's a group assignment.
Our assignments, all our assignments, except for tests, all our assignments are group.
Okay.
I explained that in the class. That's why I put you in the group.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Professor, only one person out of the group needs to submit the assignment that's due tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, Prof, we that are new, like that missed last week class, will you be able to go over the examples with us in Excel so that we can do 1A and 1B when we meet next week?
Well, I can't. If you need practice on that, maybe we have to make I'm not free this week. I will have, because during my office hours I can explain that, but for classroom I cannot go back for what you missed. But if you have during my office hours, you can. If I might ask a question, I can give you an example. But you're not gonna do the same assignment anyway. I'm gonna give you something different.
Okay.
So that one, I can show you a video where I did it, and you can watch it and do it. Or if you want me to give you an example, solve an example for you as a practice, during my office hours, I can do that. Although I'm not free this week for office hours too. So I would say let us meet in the class first.
Okay.
Then I'll give you something, and if you need extra, I can do a video, show you how to solve a similar example, and you can use it. You can then use it as a guide. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. So I might still need to schedule an office hour for next week. Do I have to email you to schedule it? Okay.
It's through email, yes.
Okay.
All right. See you
Good
guys
night.
next week. Yeah, have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Professor, I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you doing attendance for this class?
Yes, I have. I've already written the names.
You marked me absent for last class and I was here.
What's your name? What's your name?
Tiana Andrews Harris.
Remind me of that when we meet in class so I can see your face. I can't see your face. I don't know who you are now. But if I see you in the classroom, if I see you in the classroom, I remember that I saw you that day. Okay?
All right, okay.
Hello, Professor. I just wanted to ask, did you mark me present for attendance today? I wasn't
What's your
here when
name?
you Corey Alexander.
Okay. Yeah, I have you here. Call it as I have you here.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good night, Professor.
Me too.
Was I marked as present, Professor?
Why is this not showing?
Sky.
Why is this not showing? All right, guys, have a nice night.
You too.
Okay.
Yeah. See you next